Hey everyone, back for another review. What happens when you get all your friends over together to compete in board games, Trivial Pursuit, wordplay? You have none other than the 2018 black comedy Game Night. Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams play Max and Annie, and together they find out that through their love of video game, or through their loves of competition, they end up getting together with each other, getting married, and they have a night every week where them and their friends come over to their house to have a game night. During this one of the game nights, Max, played by Jason Bateman, his brother happens to come over and decides that he wants to spice it up. So he sets it up so an elaborate robbery can happen. Unbeknownst to Max, Annie, and their friends, the heist is real, and we go on a ride to discover how to get Max's brother back, how Max and Annie need to both grow up, especially Max, and we find out just how important friendship can be. This is a movie that I had heard a lot about. It's not nothing huge, but it is a movie that a lot of people are saying, you know, go out of your way to see it. And I'm telling you this, it was well worth it. This is actually a pretty funny movie. Jason Bateman, I know everyone's going to say he's probably playing himself, but he's still funny doing it. And him and Rachel McAdams have great chemistry together. As a matter of fact, Rachel McAdams is probably my favorite character in the movie. She was really likable in this. Like I said, they both have strong comedy together, chemistry together. And there's even a Third Eye Blind song in there that I like, that was pretty funny. All the characters really took their role. It took some weird turns near the end, but it was definitely worth it. There was a couple, but it was surrounded not only by the two leads, but the supporting cast is really good as well. Jesse Pleasance as Gary, the creepy next door neighbor whose wife had left him, but he's still obsessed with it. At first, he's the awkward neighbor who no one really likes, but the only reason people know him was because of his ex-wife, and now he's just this. He actually looks like he should be in a horror movie. He plays a cop, and he has an air about him where he's so awkward and creepy in everything he does that you can't just help but laugh at it, because not only is he so off-putting to the audience, but he's also off-putting to the other people. Like, even they don't know how to take him. It's actually a pretty good performance by him. I even like the two other couples in this movie. One was played by Kylette Bunburn and Lamar Morris. Both of them, they were really good in this movie. They had their own separate storyline where Kevin was trying to figure out who Michelle had slept with, because they had been together since they were 14. So she admits that one time when they were broken up that she did have a one-night stand with someone. And the ending, I don't know if the payoff was as good, but their shenanigans were really good. There was another couple by the name of Sarah and Ryan, played by Billy Magnuson and Sharon Hogan. And they had their own separate thing. The whole thing was Ryan's character was kind of like a man whore. So he decides to he's tired of losing, so he decides to take out someone smart who he works with. And then they end up getting a nice chemistry together. They're back and forth between Ryan's stupidity and Sarah's like British dry wit. Was actually really good, and it was really pleasant in the movie. The brother Brooks, played by Kyle Chandler, He's Jason Bateman's brother, as this guy the bigger brother who always comes in swaggering, always throwing around how good his life is, kind of putting Max's character, making him feel bad, and there's a whole subplot with what that does to Max and Annie's characters. There's also there's actually a couple of twists in this movie, which is surprising for a comedy. Also, the movie seems to go from comedy to kind of like an action movie or a suspense or thriller, because of the whole shenanigans with the heist and the kidnapping of Brooks. But it does go into some unusual places. The third act, there are some people who I understand were going to be like, well, this is a bit much. But I actually kind of enjoyed it, and I actually thought it was really funny for what it's worth. I never got laugh out loud jokes, but it was just all quippy, very dry, snappy, sarcastic stuff. And also some of the action sequences were really well shot, I have to say. Speaking of the way it's shot, I love it how every time they do exteriors or they're going into a place where they make the shots, all the establishing shots are made to look like it's a game board. Like the real life is like a game board. So that's really cool. Here's a good drinking game for this. Take a shot every time they say game night. You'll probably be drunk by the half an hour mark. But then again, in a movie like this, you can't help but say the name a lot. The ending is pretty cool. Has a nice light tone to it. Everyone learns a lesson. Things happen. Even though there's one character in the movie who I'm not quite sure he learned anything in this movie, but it was still kind of funny to see how his outcome went. There's one joke I really wish they didn't do in the trailer. The whole the bad guy getting sucked in by the turbine joke. I really wish it wasn't in all the trailers, because it was kind of funny in the whole setup for it with Rachel McAdams' character. Actually, I was watching and I was like, oh, I could have been laughing so much more if this wasn't in the trailer. But then again, I guess you gotta sell something on this movie. But that one they could have left out. There is a good fake out at the end as well that actually got me laughing. At first it was it almost made me groan, because the movie had taken so many different twists in the third act. But, luckily it didn't happen. If you do watch this movie, stay for the credits. There is a little funny sequence between two characters who are mentioned in the movie, and we see pictures of, but we don't really see them do anything. That's it was kind of funny, and I'm actually glad the usher told me and Jeff not to leave. So, this is a really good comedy. I'm glad it's getting good word of mouth. It's also getting really good holds throughout since it's been out for over a month now. And it's usually never dropping more than 28% from week to week. So it's doing well. I can't wait to own this myself on Blu-ray. If I'm going to give Game Night a number, I'm going to give it a 7.8. Really strong, really fun. Nothing laugh out loud hard, but at the same time it was sweet, and you couldn't help but not watching, especially with all the couples. Sarah, Ryan, of course the two leads were really good. Everyone was Jesse Pleasant's character as Gary, creepy as he was entertaining. So go out of your way to watch Game Night. Have you seen Game Night? If so, let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and I will come back to you later with another review. Bye.